Welcome to From the VC's Bookshelf, a podcast from TBR, the College System of Tennessee, the state's largest higher education system. In this series, we examine how we might re-envision the work we do and how we work together as we move into a post-pandemic world. Please join our host, Dr. Heidi Lemming, Vice Chancellor for Student Success, as she leads a live discussion with industry experts and leaders throughout our system.
The Statewide Outstanding Achievement Awards and Recognition, or SOAR, celebration recognizes individuals who have been nominated by their institutions as being among the best of the best in the categories of faculty, staff, and students. This year's finalists went through an initial interview process where they were selected as a regional winner that then moved on to our final statewide competition. In this podcast series, I'll be showcasing the regional award winners in a short interview so that listeners can learn more about the faculty, staff, and student finalists from across the TBR system. It's my hope that by learning more about the regional finalists, listeners will get a sense of the amazing stories and backgrounds of the individuals who work and learn at our institutions. Okay, so today I am sitting with our TCAT student finalists. We have 3 of them. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They just got done doing interviews yesterday. They do not know who will receive the top award, but I'll say all of them, by coming this far, are truly amazing individuals because it is a very difficult competition, and to be the top 3 finalists is really a huge accomplishment. So congratulations to all 3 of you, regardless of the outcome for you tonight. You are certainly an award winner. In addition to kind of sharing your name, your institution, share whatever else you feel comfortable sharing with our listeners to learn a little bit more about you. Now, I can certainly call on people, but I would love to see if someone wants to step out there and start.
I'm happy to go. Oh, do you want to go first?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. So I am Layah Garton. I am a student at TCAT Nashville studying diesel mechanics, and I currently sit on the board of regents as the student regent, and I am... My term is at a close, so at the end of the summer, I will be on my way out. But I want to say congratulations to the 2 of you guys for being a finalist. That's a really big deal. In my book, I think we all 3 have already won. Yeah. That's a really big deal for us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's great.
Yes. Thank you for that also, and congratulations to you too, and as well, Brittany. My name is Amanda Sovago-Royal. I'm with TCAT Chattanooga, the massage therapy program, and also a Skills USA state officer, reporter as a position, and I'm really looking forward to the end of the semester. Of course, I love school, but I'll be working for myself and also partnering with a chiropractor to see his clients in his office. So it's been a really wonderful year.
Yeah, already have that job in hand, it sounds like.
Yes,
that's great.
Was the goal.
How about you, Brittany?
Hey, congratulations to both of you. I am Brittany Thomas. I attend TCAT Memphis, and I am studying computer-aided design. Currently, I am centered, or I'm going to graduate around December, and right now I'm at a co-op. So I'm doing co-op with a company in Memphis, a really large company in Memphis, doing CAD work, civil CAD work.
Great. And you're going to be graduating this semester? Or?
December.
In December,
yes,
sorry. Okay.
And I'm currently on board for the Skills USA. I'm a West Tennessee Vice President.
Great. Well, obviously, we've got a bunch of leaders in the room, so this will be interesting to hear some more about your perspectives of working with the staff and students at your institution. Tell me a little bit about, during your time at the TCAT, maybe there's a person, a student, another student, faculty, member, administrator who made a significant impact on you, and maybe share, what that impact was. I think our listeners would be really curious to hear your reflection on that. We won't go in the same order necessarily. I might call Amanda. She's making eye contact with me. You want to go first?
Sorry, hopefully it's not uncomfortable.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so absolutely. First, I would say Miss Renee Johnson. She is the Senior Instructor and Program Director for Massage Therapy at TCAT Chattanooga. She's the instructor who nominated me for this award. She's been instrumental, obviously, in my learning, but also just honestly, emotionally. I definitely feel if you're doing your best, which we obviously all are. I don't know about you all, but I've had a couple of little breakdowns. And every time she's kind of reminded me of the end goal. And to just keep going, and you're almost there, and what potential she sees in me. So I value that very much, of course. And then also my advisors with Skills USA, so that would be Mr. Mike Mercer and Miss Cynthia Rutledge. They've been instrumental also in supporting me, introducing me at Skills USA to so many connections, and just an amazing support system. And if it's okay, I just also have another person.
Sure.
So this is Mr. Dwayne Bryant. He is actually the custodian at TCAT Chattanooga. The reason why I actually joined Skills USA was because, well, obviously I thought it was a great organization, but I was standing in front of the poster for Skills USA and to join the team. And I was psyching myself out, and I was thinking, oh, I have too much on my plate, or, and he came up, and he had already spoken to me before, and he was like, are you going to go to the Skills USA meeting? And I said, I don't know, I might. And he said, well, you know what? Just go. I think you would be really great at it. You can always, go to the meeting and decide it's not for you. And I went because he encouraged me. And it's just an example of the amazing support system that TCAT Chattanooga has. Like, everyone is just incredibly supportive. There is no kind of sort of hierarchy. Obviously, there's positions, but even people that aren't my instructors, I feel like I have a relationship with them. So I couldn't really have made it this far without them.
Yeah. That's so great. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next? Layah?
For me, it would be my advisor, who just so happens to be the one who nominated me, and he's also my Skills USA advisor as well. So initially, I started out as a BCT student, which is a building construction student.
Right.
And then I was just kind of curious about CAD. Something I've always wanted to do was being an architect. And so when I stumbled upon his class, he was just saying, maybe you should try to get into skills. I was like, yeah, I'm not really into, competing and stuff like that. And he was just like, oh, it'll be easy. It's easy. You can just go, and it doesn't matter where you place. And, maybe you should be a state officer. And I was like, I kind of wanted to be, in the back. He was like, no, you have potential, like, although you want to sit in the back in the shadows, like, you have something to offer. You also have a story to tell. So just that, he mentored me, and I wasn't really looking for a mentor, but I kind of like just stumbled upon him.
Yeah.
And so he kind of gave me that confidence and courage to kind of believe in myself and not feel like I was too old, to kind of go after things that I dreamed about, when I was younger.
Sure. That's great. Thank you.
So my story, I would say the two most influential people, or two of the three most influential people that I've had at my institution, would actually be two of my instructors, Pat Dillard and Mr. Richard Yeager. The two of them, their teaching styles and their personalities are two completely opposite. They could not be more different in any aspect of life. But the two of them are incredible, and the way that they work together is so amazing. Mr. Dillard is the one person that I feel like I can go to on an emotional level.
Okay.
That if I think I'm crashing during the school day, like I need someone to chat with, I'm so confused about something, like personal, let me come rant to you. He is that person. And I think if I did not have him there, I would go insane. Quite honestly, there have been certain times where like I just need someone to rant to, even if it's just for 2 minutes, just in the middle of the school day. Let me just come into your office and debrief you about what's going on, whether it's a school thing or a personal thing, whatever it is. Like, let me just debrief things to you.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Richard Yeager, he's a little firecracker. He's crazy, but I love him so dearly. He has taught me a lot of confidence he's taught me to have a lot of confidence in myself. I would like to say that I came into the school with a lot of confidence, but he has definitely increased that in myself. I've watched how he has communicated with his coworkers and the president, Nathan Garrett, and I've learned a lot from him. He did not come into the school with a teaching degree or anything like that, but he definitely showed me that anyone anyone could become a teacher if they so choose to. And I've always kind of thought of myself of like, hey, like I don't necessarily want to be a teacher. That's not really what I want to do. But he has taught me that, hey, you don't have to have that teaching degree. Anyone can teach something. If you're an expert in something, you can teach it. And so that might help guide me over the next few years on where exactly I want to take my career in that path. I'm not saying that I'm going to go be like an early childhood educator. I could not do that. You know, those are very, very special people that can do that. I don't think I have that much patience. Props to those. But he has definitely taught me that, you know, just because you are in one specific field does not mean that you can't expand on that.
Sure.
He was in the diesel field, and now he's an instructor for the diesel field.
Yeah.
So he took something that he thrived in very, very well and made it something else, created another career path out of it. So he has kind of shown me that you don't have to stick to one specific thing. You can take what you know and expand on that.
Be kind of entrepreneurial with your experience in some way. Yeah.
I'm so glad we have like instructors who kind of plant that seed in us. You know, even when you don't see it in yourself, you have that advisor or that educator who's willing to go the extra mile, you know, and push you. You know.
Yeah. And they're also, what I love and getting to Miss Renee, one of the things, so because of, I got into massage therapy kind of by happy accident, but then I wanted to focus on men's health and wellness because my father passed away unexpectedly for health issues. And so with that being said, and obviously in massage therapy, wanting to work with male clients, she's been very strategic with me and sat down and said, okay, this is what you need to have on your website. And this is what you don't need to have on your website. And, you know, these are the sources you need to have. And you should have clients, you know, call and do an interview first. So even literally just not only my education in the classroom, but also my business plan, and then just safety as a female massage therapist.
Yes,
so completely like full circle care is incredible to have. And through her, obviously, I'm sitting here this weekend, and I've met and networked with so many people. So it's just to piggyback off of what they were saying, the instructors are just so incredible and supportive.
Right. Yeah. So what I hear you all saying is it's more than just teaching you the skill. It's they've taken an interest in you as a person.
Whole person.
And are giving you some advice and guidance on how to kind of navigate the future in some way with your chosen field.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. And I do think that is something that we hear a lot from students at our TCATs because of the structure there being a shorter term program in the smaller class size, that you do get kind of that individualized attention from the TCAT faculty. And you all are giving some really great examples of how that's played out for you. So thank you. Well, so the other piece of this, you just given a lot of kudos to some staff, which I'm sure they really appreciate. The faculty are going to appreciate you recognizing them, and I know that they feel like so humbled by that, and that you all are, you know, an inspiration to them too, probably. But think about, like, if you were to sit and talk with an 8th grader. I always like to do the 8th grade example because I think middle school is about the time when you start to really think about what you might want to do for a living. You know, a lot of times thinking about just different career choices, and they might not know all the options, or the fact that there are differences between a TCAT or a community college. There's lots of different types of institutions. What would you say to convince them, particularly if they choose, obviously, a field that, you know, we teach? We don't teach everything, so it might not be a good fit. But, you know, for something that we teach, if they're about ready to think about, you know, I'm going to go into high school and what I might do, what would you tell them to consider in terms of attending a TBR institution?
The first thing that I would push is that Tennessee has this unique program called Tennessee Promise. Not, as far as I'm aware, no other state has something similar to it. And I know an 8th grader is not really going to care about how much does my, you know, post-secondary education cost. You know, that's my parents' problem, or that's a problem for myself later in the future. I'll get a scholarship, whatever. I would say, as to an 8th grader, Tennessee Promise is going to be your biggest resource, arguably. So if you choose to go to a four-year college, you can still do that and attend a TBR institution. You can go to a community college and use your Tennessee Promise for 2 years to get your prereqs out of the way, and then go over to that four-year institution. So many people that I graduated high school with did not. So my story, I came from a high school that pushed four-year colleges really, really hard, very aggressively.
Sure.
And so I understood that was the only way that I could go was a four-year college. I would definitely explain to them that four-year colleges are not your only option. If you want to go to a four-year college, really consider that Tennessee Promise. Get those 2 years and then continue your education at that four-year college. You get to stay close to your community. You get to stay close to your family, if that's where your family's at, if that's something that would keep you there. You know, at that point, you're going to be a college student, and college students tend to be broke. So you may have a little bit more of an opportunity to work simultaneously while going to school. And your classmates and your peers at a community college or a TCAT, they're going to be relatively close in location to you. So it's not like upon graduation, y'all are going to go your separate ways out of the entire state. Sometimes that does happen, but sometimes that, usually from what I have seen, that does not really happen. So you get to go to school for free, basically, 8 hours of community service per semester. So in my opinion, that's free. And you get to go ahead and get those prereqs out of the way. And if you want to stick with the community college and that's all you want to do and you don't want to go to four-year, that's okay. If you want to go to a trade school, cool. Tennessee Promise covers that too. You don't have to go into the medical field. You don't have to do anything like that. If you want to be a welder, cool. 2 years, free. There you go.
There's lots of options.
Yes.
And Tennessee is very fortunate to have a lot of good state aid on top of the federal financial aid that students are eligible for. What else would you like to share? Yeah.
So I have a daughter. She is 9. Well, I think I said that earlier, but she's 9. And right now, of course, I ask her what she wants to be, and she's like, "Oh, I want to be a social media influencer. I want to do gaming."
They all want to be social media influencers.
It's crazy. It's like the thing. So one thing that I try to explain to her is, okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. But then how are we going to do that? Like, what's the actual plan? Because you know, it takes work before you see a penny from YouTube and what that plan is. So but I also know, having been there myself, that's probably going to change, you know. So one thing I would encourage 8th graders to do is to know, first of all, it's okay if you don't know what you want to do. And what I've found in my own personal life, I've had a plan and then been completely derailed. And thankfully that happened because I'm here where I am now. And if I would have done things according to my plan, I wouldn't be here. And I'm so happy with this path. And if you don't know what you want to do, again, you have those instructors and the people around you to help support you. So use your community, use your parents, and communicate with them what you want to do, what your options are. And especially when you get even into high school, build relationships. So lean into those relationships, obviously, and I don't even mean like in a superficial way. Of course, it's great to network and know people, but again, just having a relationship with your instructors, and you know, because when you're younger, it's all about your peers, right? But your instructors have probably obviously been down that road. They're older. They can see around corners that you can't see due to your age. And if you build that network, when you start to veer off path, they're going to help you. Or if you don't know where you want to go, they're going to direct you on how to get to where you want to be. So that would be my greatest advice is 2 things. It's okay to not know. You know, I feel like nowadays there's so much pressure to be perfect, to have it all figured out, you know, to go like a 4-year route and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a traditional college. And just to take that pressure off of children, I think would be a great start to let them see where they want to go, and then just show them with, you know, Tennessee Pathways and Tennessee Promise and Tennessee Reconnect. I'm a pure walking, talking product of Tennessee Reconnect.
Right.
As an older student, because of that, I was able to go to school tuition free and be here, because that was my biggest concern, was the finances.
Right.
So there's just so many options, and to let them know that, to educate them on the options that they have, and then surround them with that support system and let them know that they have that. They don't have to figure it out on their own.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
So with me, I kind of basically started out with TCAT on my brain, I guess, in a way. So when I was in high school, I actually was in the dual enrollment program, aviation. So it was a campus near the airport. And so I was a aviation student for my 12th grade year. And from there, I kind of went to the military. I thought I had it all figured out. You know, I was, when you're young and you're 18 or you're in middle school and high school, like, okay, I'm going to be a pediatrician. I know for a fact that I'm going to do this. This is how my life is going to go. Life will hit you fast, As soon as you think you got it figured out, everything comes unraveled, So I ended up going to the military. And once I retired, I decided to come back to TCAT. Come back to Memphis, and then I went to TCAT. But honestly, I would be honest with an 8th grader and let them know, like, we all thought we had it figured out, The best thing that you could do is to make sure that you give yourself as many options as with the dual enrollment program. You're able to attend high school and also attend a TCAT or a TBR institution. And like recently, I just met one of the other finalists, and he was a culinary arts teacher. And that's something that I didn't even know we offered. You know what I mean? So it's like a wide variety of things that they offer. And he also offers it to high school students. So that's just one of the dual enrollment programs.
Right.
So it's anywhere from healthcare to construction to graphic design.
Right.
So just at least give yourself options. So explore as many options as possible within our system, because we offer a lot. And I know, although a lot of kids do want to stay near home, because they're in Tennessee, they can travel anywhere in Tennessee, and they'll still be a part of a TBR institution.
Right. Yeah, we are statewide. And thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
I think that's really important. We've got, even here with our finalists, a variety of backgrounds coming into higher ed, from, recent high school grad to out of the military, adult learner, whatever. We have a path for all individuals, regardless of your background. We welcome you at our institutions. And yeah, the program offerings, they're immense.
They are.
And sometimes it takes someone to help an individual figure that out. And we've got staff that do that, and you all have mentioned how staff have helped you as well. So hopefully that'll be something that our listeners will start to explore on their own.
Yeah, I loved that question and how it was, kind of guided towards the 8th grade path. But I think it's also important that those answers could also be applicable to the adult learners.
Definitely.
You may be at home and have an established family, and you have your life on track, and then you realize whether you get laid off from your employer, or you decide, hey, I don't think this career path is where my passion's at anymore. I want to step back and explore my options and try another career path. The Tennessee, the TCAT systems really allow for that. Just because you have children and you have a spouse, or you are the caretaker of someone, because you're an adult does not mean that you cannot become a student again.
Yeah.
I don't go to a community college, so I cannot necessarily entirely speak on their behalf. But I know as a TCATs, I see just as many people who are 30, 40, 50 years old as I do kids that just came out of high school. I started the semester that I graduated high school. So I'm at the end of that. So I'm on the younger end of the spectrum. But the people that I see, the students, my peers, that are, they've had fully established paths in their lives, and watching them come back to a college and say, hey, I'm not a failure just because I have to come, or I choose to come back to a college.
No, actually.
That does not mean that you're a failure. If anything, I would say that you are extremely brave for that, and big kudos to those people who can say, hey, you know what? I want to go back to college. I want to do it again. I feel like there's kind of a society is like, no, like you shouldn't like adult learners, no. And I'm like, yes, adult learners, yes, because it's your life. You choose the path that you go down, and you're going to have that support, especially in the TBR system. You're not going to be the only person that's 30, 40, 50. I've even seen, people who are on the higher end of 50, 60s.
Oh, sure.
Right. I have
there is no ideal picture image of a student.
Yeah, right.
I have a classmate when I was in BCT or building construction. He was 74.
Yeah.
He was 74, and he had been to TCAT. I'm sorry. He had been to TCAT 3 different times. So his initial, when I don't know what year, many years ago, but he started out with photography.
I didn't even know we offered that.
Right. Back then. So it's just crazy. It's good to know that TCAT can transcend through times, and kind of keep up with what the market is looking for. So just imagine him back in the 1900s, like the millennium.
Right? No, this was around quite that long ago.
No, that's what Gen Z called 1999.
Well, you're dating all of us.
1999. Yeah, you're 1999. Baby. You're a 1999.
Yeah, but so that's what they call us in 1900s. But so back then he back then he was in photography, and now he 3 different courses later, he's in building construction because he knows that, he doesn't have to work, but he wants to try to stay in certain industries. You know what I mean? So.
Well, always learning. People should always continue to learn, even if it's not officially through a college. That we lifelong learners, right?
Lifelong learners.
So,
Definitely.
You all are nearing graduation. It's a common theme. So as you think about that transition, moving maybe into the workforce, maybe onto another credential, what advice would you give to a student who's about ready to start about, how to approach their education, maybe the experiences that they should really seek out while they're at a TCAT?
So one thing I would say, again, so when I leave, it's April 26th. I've been counting down the days,
down to the day.
But of course, I'm gonna be up there so much they're gonna just get tired of me. But what I did personally, I used my winter break and I used my spring break to actually get my own massage clients, see clients outside of class. And so I already have, people that are like, as soon as you get licensed, please, give me your information. I want to come see you. I've been constantly sharing on social media. So my advice is don't wait until you are about to graduate to get all those things set in place. Have a professional social media page. Again, network with people, build connections that will put you in the right rooms with the right people. Take the initiative because, again, that's why we're all here. Our instructors saw something in us and they saw that we are go-getters. And if there's something that we didn't know, they were more than happy to help us. That's the one thing that I love about TBR and TCAT is they want to help people that help themselves. Yeah. And so that's my advice that I would give a student is help yourself. People see that, they want to help that, they love that, and you're only setting yourself up to be in a better position after that. And if you don't know that thing, I guarantee you TCAT probably offers a program that will teach you how to do the thing that you need to do to set yourself up for success.
Right. It's never too late to start working on that resume even.
So I graduate in about a month from now, and what I would say as I'm exiting my TCAT career, my biggest piece of advice to those incoming students would be to not be afraid to network. Coming in, I walked into school on my very first day and I saw so I'm in diesel mechanics, which is obviously primarily male dominated, but I walked in on that first day and I saw a group of 15 guys who looked extremely intimidating because they were about to graduate. And I'm just a measly little girl in here that does not understand diesel mechanics, but I'm taking a chance on diesel mechanics and hoping that I like it. And the best thing that I did was start talking to them immediately. They taught me a lot. They've taught me very, very good things about the trade. They've taught me what to look out for in the trades, employers and things like that. network with those in my own specific program that might be on the other end of the spectrum on their way out. But also not just people in your program, but other programs as well. I've started kind of speaking a little bit with some other programs, whether that be the cosmetology or the aesthetics program, because I'm ready to get, like, being a diesel mechanic, you get dirty, you get nasty, you get pretty grimy. And my favorite thing to have are white nails. So I've started networking a little bit and meeting people in other trades, such as the cosmetology, and I cannot wait for some of them to give me give me a manicure for the first time from them. Like, I am so looking forward to that. And I cannot wait to get, like, my first, like, facial. I've never had anything, like, I'm not, like, a skincare guru at all. I barely even wash my face, which is so bad. I feel like some people listening to this are probably like, that's gross. But I just use, like, a bar of soap and just some water and whatever. But because I've started networking with them, I've learned more about skincare, and I'm like, okay, like, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can be a girl. Like, maybe I can do this. So just speak with other people.
Yeah.
Don't just stick to your own little. So at the Nashville campus, the diesel program is off by itself, and I call it our little hobbit hole because we are set so far back from campus from everyone else. We stay back in our little hobbit hole, and we don't really talk with other instructors, other programs, nothing. So I would say walk up to the top of the hill or bottom of the hill or whatever your campus looks like, walk to another program and meet the instructor there. And maybe you'll think, I want to do that trade too. Because that's kind of how I started out with welding. I went up there, talked to a few of the students, and I was like, you know what, I want to do welding. So I also took welding as well.
Oh, cool.
Not just diesel mechanics. So your route can change. It probably will change to some degree. Don't be so closed off.
Yeah.
From
That's good advice.
learning and things like that.
Yeah, that's good advice. How about you, Brittany?
So piggybacking off of that, don't be closed off and really immerse yourself in education and in your professional growth and development. When you grow professionally, it also grows you personally. You know, you start to look from a different perspective, start to look at your life from a different perspective and a different lens.
Yeah.
So getting back to adaptability, just knowing that you're getting older, you want to make better decisions. You know, you want to have open doors, you know, for yourself and networking. You know, if you're to yourself and a recluse, you're not really putting yourself out there to grow. You're not going to get anywhere by yourself, you know. So just networking with people and growing personally and professionally would take you way farther, you know.
Yeah, good. Well, we're at the end of our time. It's been great sitting and talking with you all, learning a little bit more about your background and your future aspirations. Again, congratulations on being a finalist for this year's TCAT Student of the Year Award. Regardless of the outcome tonight, I know that you all should feel very proud about what you've done so far to get to this point. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this edition of From the VC's Bookshelf, brought to you by TBR, the College System of Tennessee, powering the state's economy and changing the lives of thousands of graduates, starting successful careers each year. To learn more about upcoming book selections or to register to attend discussions live, visit tbr.edu/bookshelf.